So this is Granblue Fantasy Versus. This is a game that I actually quite enjoyed when it first came out. I played Djeeta mostly. I also played Catalina. I think Percival was a character I played too. I remember Lunalu was like an anchor character who I thought was kind of cool. She was like a puppet almost. Glorified character select, I'd like to say. But this is an interesting game. Look at that. This is an interesting game. It's quite simple in terms of execution, in terms of how fighting games play, and this was even a main game at EVO a couple of years ago. I believe it was EVO 2022. His game, if I'm not mistaken, came out like early 2020, maybe late 2019, and it never really got a chance to shine. It never really got a chance to blossom into something great because, you know, the COVID-19 pandemic happened around the time. And this game was pretty much dead in the water when it first came out. This game had a lot of potential. I'm glad it's got a sequel. Oh, blocked. I'm glad it got a, oh, look at that. I forgot that. Oh, I forgot. Anyway, look at that. Poked me right out of that. I played Catalina too with an EX DP. Djeeta is kind of like a Shoto. She has like a DP, a fireball. She's like a Tatsu basically. Oh, blocked again. I got through. Okay. This game also had like a simple input and then like a technical input where if you tap R1, Djeeta sends out a fireball. But if you do quarter circle forward and then a punch button, she'll send out a fireball. Obviously, the simple input has a greater. I don't think it does have a greater. I was about to say cooldown. I think what it is, if you do the light version, it has a shorter cooldown than the heavy. But anyway, as I was saying, this game never really had a chance to shine. It was basically dead in the water. I think it was going to be featured at EVO 2020, but it got canceled. The biggest shame about EVO 2020 being canceled was the Marvel vs. Capcom 2 tournament that like never happened. I still think about that all the time. Like obviously, you know, EVO now has like the throwback game. Last year it was because it's 2024 now. Last year it was Marvel vs. Capcom 3. I should say Ultimate Marvel 3, which was always great. I was cheering for Granblue River mostly, but you know, that game's changed so much in the meta over the last 10 years or so. But it's still nice to see it. But for Granblue, the newest game just came out, Granblue Fantasy Versus Rising, and that game looks really cool. I haven't had a chance to play it yet. I'm mostly excited for Tekken 8 later this year. Oh, look at that. Blocked again. See, I remember this time, there's a third hit. Anyway, but as I said though, I really liked playing Djeeta. She was basically the only character that I was kind of familiar with. See, I got this game. Okay, it's blocked. Did a lot of chip damage though. I got this game, thought it was quite interesting. I liked how simple it was at first, but then it got to the point where I realized that maybe that's what holds this game back a little bit. I don't know, but it's a solid fighter. It's a solid fighter. You know, I don't have much bad to say about it as I'm trying to remember this muscle memory stuff for Djeeta. But as I was saying, never really had a chance to blossom. I mean, this game could have been pretty cool. It was just, it was released at such an unfortunate time, you know. But, it was featured at EVO 2020, I believe 2022 had this game as like a main tournament game. But, you know, it was pretty cool. I'm glad this game's got a sequel. I'm glad that it's still somewhat around. Look at that. Oh, I dropped that last hit. Let's do a raw super. Uh-oh, that's going to go through. Isn't that a shame? But you get to see these big giant animations, and these are kind of cool. Look at that. These full animated supers here. That's like your big, like, ultra super. There's like a regular super, and then there's like the ultra, to use like the Street Fighter 4 terminology. Engage. You're gonna jump in. Look at that. There's that like the one combo that I remember is Djeeta. Neutral jump. Every time. Alright. This game did add some new mechanics later on. Like, if I'm not mistaken, like in 2021, some new mechanics were added. Kind of like a V-shift in Street Fighter, where you spend half of your super meter for like a defensive option. But this game not only had holding back to block, it also had like a dedicated block button. So if you held, like, I believe it was like R1 or something like that. No, it wasn't R1. That was one of the shortcuts for the action moves. I think it was R2. It was like a block button. The only game in which I think the block button's kind of awkward is like Soul Calibur because X or 3 blocks, and that's kind of awkward because no other fighting game does something like that. Mortal Kombat has always had a dedicated block button, usually like the right trigger, R2, is the dedicated block button. But this game had either holding back or a block button. Look at that. Didn't kill though. Fireball, fireball again. Jeeta's pretty good though when it comes to fireballs. Now she's no old Sagat in Super Turbo or anything, but you know, she's pretty good in this game. All right, I'm gonna fight another guy. I think I also played Percival in this game with somebody like that. I really can't remember who exactly I used to play. This guy was like a professional wrestler. His name is Ladiva. If I'm or Ladiva, I'm not sure how it's pronounced. He was like a wrestler, kind of like Goldust. His whole thing is that like he's in love with his opponent or something like that. Maybe it's not like full on Goldust where he's got like a leotard on. Well, maybe not like a leotard per se, but more of like a full bodysuit and all that stuff. But my muscle memory is kind of kicking in a little bit. I always liked the HUD of this game though. I always thought it looked pretty cool. I I kind of liked having the super meter below the health and having the health bar change colors and stuff. Undernight in Birth is another game that's really good at doing stuff like that, where the health bars will actually change colors. Like that, oh, the super goes through. But whenever your health is below 30% or so, it changes to orange, and then at that time you have the ability to perform like your big ultra super, which I don't think I've done yet. But here's another character that I'm fighting against. This is UL. UL, if I remember correctly, was a character that I was experimenting with for a while. I don't think I ever got around to playing her, but I mean, like playing her at like a somewhat decent level. Yeah, I just mostly stuck to Djeeta and like Catalina and Percival. I like to jump in this game a lot because jumps aren't that big of a deal. Also, in this game, I'm not sure what level AI this is, but I remember having to play like on hard or something like that to have like a decent AI. At least one that could kind of be competitive. Jump forward. That jumping forward like circle or 4 is just such a great button. Like, cause Djeeta will stick her sword straight out. It's a really good button. Here's round number 2. Oh, the Battle 2 is what it's called. It says engage. This is like the second fighting game that I know of that says engage when you start a round. Instead of like, I know Third Strike will do it sometimes. Whip that again. Look at that. I don't even need super. Don't even need it. Don't even need super. Just keep you in the corner. I guess I'm gonna change her color. She has like a red outfit that I thought was kind of cool. I also don't know the lore of this game, so I don't know who these characters are, what they're doing. I really don't know. But yeah, this red outfit for Djeeta I always really liked. I thought it looked really cool. It's actually my favorite Djeeta outfit. Look at that neutral jump over that. Too bad I couldn't combo out of it. Messed something up. So this is the other dude that I used to play. I remember he had like the flame attacks and everything. Percival. Oof. I'm trying to see how many times I whiff to throw. I'm trying to see how many times I can get away with jumping in. Look at that dodge. Look at that dodge right into my attack. 4 into super. Doesn't kill, but it's going to get mighty close. And just a fireball. Dash back into a fireball. How great was that? Man, that was a good round. Alright, battle 2. Engage. Fighters ready. Engage. Look at that big damage right there. Alright. Block that. Poke him out of that. That's a counter window. Man, here comes the flames. This man thinks he's dolls. Dash forward. Look at that. Invincible. This man had armor in startup. I've done it again. Can you believe that? Didn't kill though. I can't believe I whiffed that. I should have died there. I whiffed that attack and it just didn't do anything about it. I won, but did I really win? I guess a win is a win, as some people would say. Guess I will do one more, I guess. But yeah, I really do like this game. Here's Djeeta. Djeeta is a cool character. Just backing away. Fireball, where she dodges right through like King of Fighters. That dodge mechanic. Jump forward. Coming over that. I tried to press the button on Wake Up. Didn't really work out for me that much. I was like the clashing fireballs. I've always thought that was kind of cool. With that big DP through there. Fireball. Into super. Look at that. Great. I got her doing an animation. Beautiful. Alright, here's round number 2. Excuse me, battle 2. This is a pretty bad start to this round, I'd say. She's gonna hang out in the corner. You come to me. Oh, I jumped. You believe that? Alright. Dodge through that fireball. She armored right through that. Did you see that? I whiffed a... No, she whiffed a throw because I was just walking backwards into the corner. See if I can do this big combo. Uh-oh. I don't know what I did. I think I pressed a button. No, I blocked it. Into super. Look at that. Doesn't kill, though, because this game has, like, damage scaling depending on health. Alright. So, yeah. Granblue Fantasy Versus. I liked this game a lot. It's pretty cool. I'll play the sequel sometime later, I guess.